Welcome to the Nosebleed Seats. I'm the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. This week we are at the legendary South Broadway Athletic Club for MMWA-SICW, and it's also home of the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. There is their Promotion of the Year award from Missouri Wrestling Revival, and then look at the Hall of Fame names: Bobby Heenan, Barry Von Raschke, Dory Funk Jr., Fritz Von Erich, Johnny Valentine, Gene Kaminsky, Pat O'Connor, Penny Banner, Wild Bill Longren, Lou Thez, 7-decade wrestler, the promoter himself, Sam Mushnick, Dick the Bruiser, Buddy Rogers. There's Terry Funk, who is still an active wrestler in his middle 60s, Joe Garagiola, the recently deceased Mickey Garagiola, Larry Matisek, Joe Skolabrenner, I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, Lee Warren, Harley Grace, Jack Briscoe, recently deceased 2010, and King Kong Brody, and Rocky Johnson, and legendary Ric Flair, Dick Murdoch. Last but not least, Cowboy Bob Ellis. And this week on the NBS, we present to you a MMWA television title match. It's going to be a long one, as we see coming to the ring the current champion, David Vaughn. He's also a former MMWA heavyweight champion. Been a lot of changes at MMWA-SICW of late. They seem to be on a course to divide the promotion into two completely separate companies. Tim Miller recently resigned from the Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling portion of this organization, as we see approaching the ring. And then it's been on a roll of late, winning some major matches and accumulating some titles. The current Pro Wrestling Prestige United States Champion, Brandon Espinosa. Brandon Espinosa and David Vaughn have no love lost between each other. That these two men have been in a long, bitter feud, usually over championship gold. And this time, David Vaughn has the television title up at stake in this matchup. These two get together. It's an exciting contest, and it looks like perhaps Brandon Espinosa has the microphone and is going to address the crowd here at the South Broadway Athletic Club.
Obviously, each and every one of you out there does not understand how this works. I hate each and every one of you, so stop cheering for me. There's a saying that mathematics is the universal language of the world, and that no matter where you go, it stays the same. So, since each and every one of you seem like you don't understand how things go, this might be easy enough for you to compute. I love you, bro! 2005. October 8th of 2005, I made my debut in this very ring against the federations that I have worked for, the most by anybody in that locker room. July 23rd, 2010, over in Collinsville, I wrestled the number 3 Fed in America. The number 12, the most important number in the Missouri Wrestling Revival trading card set, which happens to be mine. June 8th, this past Wednesday, I wrestled down in Louisville for Ohio Valley Wrestling, the former WWE developmental. Which leads me to today, June 11th. June 11th equals my 455th match, my 68th championship match, my 13th title that I will be holding, as well as the 6th time I will beat David Vaughn in a wrestling ring. One more number, the number 1, which is what exactly my ranking is in that roster, is exactly what I'm number 1 contender for that belt, as well as what it takes when he knocks out the punch over receiving stars, and I become the new Wild World of Wrestling Television Champion.
Wow, that's Brandon Espinosa by the numbers. Of course, there's one number he left out there that he is ranked number 7 in the NBS 25 for May 2011. We're going to be doing another top 25 vote very soon. Hopefully get that list, the next list out by the end of July. But here we go. One-on-one action for the MMWA television title. As you can see, David Vaughn holding the belt right in front of Espinosa's face, and there's a slap. And Vaughn charges and gets thrown over the top rope, and it looks like this match is going to start out on the floor. Oh, David Vaughn got a shot in and an uppercut. Vaughn covered very nicely, but gets a kick to the gut. Hard chop on the floor. There's an uppercut from Espinosa. Vaughn fires one back. And into the rail. Oh, Vaughn threw Espy into the rail, but there's a rake to the eyes. Espinosa breaks the count. There he's going to chop him on the railing. On Vaughn with a fires back with his own chop. As the referee is counting. Oh, a headbutt from Espinosa. I don't think Espinosa's known for throwing headbutts. He puts him on the post. Espinosa winds up and chops the post. Brandon Espinosa in trouble. Damaged his hand, and David Vaughn is going to go to work on it. Vaughn with a shot on Espinosa. Vaughn rolls in to break up the count. And David Vaughn, the TV champion, in control of this match early. David Vaughn, oh, Espinosa pulls David Vaughn back out and chops him on the floor. And Espy rams him in the ring apron. Espinosa had an uppercut. Oh, David Vaughn fires back, but Espinosa cuts him off pretty quick, and Espy's left hand hurting. Thankfully, it's not his right hand. He's been using his right hand, a right hand punch, to knock out opponents and get the victory of late, as David Vaughn slingshots him back in. Arm drag Japanese arm drag. Irish whip to the corner. Vaughn hops over Espinosa, and there's another arm drag. And Vaughn goes for a cover, a 1 count. But he's got that left arm of Espinosa that's damaged from chopping the post. David Vaughn's going to work on it and try and get SB to tap out. SB was going through the numbers here, and he may not be able to hear it, but he made his debut in 2005 against, thankfully, the now retired Jeremy Lightfoot, as David Vaughn takes SB down the mat. He's trying to reach for a rope. Espinosa was ranked 445 in the PWI 500 in 2009, did not rank in 2010. Hopefully he may come back and rank again in 2011 when the list comes out in August or September, as David Vaughn gets another arm drag on Espinosa, takes him back down the mat, goes back to work on that left arm. Espinosa has worked for 55 different wrestling promotions throughout the Midwest and probably beyond. More than anybody in that's more than a lot of people. Maybe the most. He says the most in that locker room. Of course, the state of Illinois has 40 different promotions itself, so a remarkable achievement for one Brandon Espinosa in the span of 6 years. And he did debut for the #3 promotion in the United States, Ring of Honor, in July of 2010. Vaughn with a knee to the gut on Espinosa. Off the ropes. Oh! Brandon shadowed David Vaughn and caught by surprise with that clothesline. Brandon Espinosa, who's the number 12 card in the Missouri Wrestling Revival trading card set, and there's a jumping knee drop by Espinosa, and an uppercut to the back of the head. This supposedly is his 455th match of his career. That's a lot of matches in 6 years. As Espinosa butt drops David Vaughn. SB usually wrestles about 3 times a week, which is a lot more than a lot of people in this region. As Espinosa goes for a cover 1, 2 count. Says this is his 68th championship match, and if he wins the title tonight, it'll be his 13th title reign. Now, David Espinosa says that when he beats David Vaughn tonight, it'll be his 6th time he's defeated him. Of course, David Vaughn has some victories over Brandon Espinosa himself. And Espinosa says he's the #1 ranked wrestler in MMWA-SICW. As SB, the hard kick to the gut on David Vaughn. Espinosa kicks away, and the crowd showing their disapproval for the audacity of Brandon Espinosa. He doesn't want fans to support him. He wants to be jeered for some reason. But Espinosa, one of the top wrestlers in the Midwest, and he's a guy that garners a lot of respect. And Espinosa just doesn't want it from the general public. As Brandon Espinosa is locked in the camel clutch on David Vaughn, but turns it loose. And that was the finisher by the legendary Iron Sheik, and you gotta let that thing cinch in and hold that thing for quite a bit of time for it to get an opponent to tap. It's Espinosa with another butt drop on David Vaughn, gets a 2 count. Brandon Espinosa locks the yards behind David Vaughn. Double underhook. I don't know how effective that maneuver is. David Vaughn slips out easily, chops away, kick to the gut, and eats a super kick from Brandon Espinosa. And Espinosa is rolling here. Brandon Espinosa, the winner of the PWE Epic 8 tournament. Looking to add gold around his waist, more gold. Like, if he wins here tonight, it'll be his 14th title. If he's successful, and there's an arm drag. David Vaughn with an arm drag off the top rope, but he cannot follow up. David Vaughn getting to his feet. Jams that shoulder. Brandon Espinosa. Not quite a jawbreaker, it's a shoulder breaker of sorts. There's another one arm shoulder takedown, gets a 2 count. Brandon Espinosa now operating one arm, and Brandon Espinosa throws an uppercut with his right arm, and there is a flying heel kick from the middle rope. And Espy can buy himself some time, get some feeling back into that left arm that's been worked on by David Vaughn. Only gets a 2 count there. MMWA-SICW, a lot of news coming out of that organization. The webmaster for MMWA-SICW, Ben Simon, also the ring announcer, has been let go from SICW. SICW instituted an over-the-top rope is a disqualification rule that has not been used since WCW back in the 90s. AWA also had the rule on their rule book that the over-the-top disqualification rule has not been used in any major promotion in like 15 years. It's kind of curious why the Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling decided to reinstitute it all of a sudden. There's also oh, there's a spear from David Vaughn. David Vaughn with a spear out of the corner, buying himself some time. Got to crawl over and make the cover. 1, 2, and Brandon Espinosa gets that left arm up, that damaged left arm. Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling only has one recognized title at this point. The Classic Championship that was recently instituted earlier this year in kind of a curious fashion, why they decided to introduce a title, but that was before we knew that the one big promotion was going to try and split up into 2 smaller promotions, and there's an uppercut from David Vaughn, and there's a single arm DDT. Brandon Espinosa up on his feet again. Oh, there's a Russian leg sweep. And David Vaughn has Brandon Espinosa in trouble and goes to a cross-arm breaker. But look at this, and Brandon Espinosa trying to turn around. And now he's got him in a ping predicament, only a 2 count. Brandon Espinosa, oh, look at this. Brandon Espinosa has his hands clenched together in an axe handle formation, trying to limit the pressure put on by David Vaughn with that cross-arm breaker. And there's a knockout punch from Espinosa. He's been putting away people with that, including Jimmy Jacobs a few weeks ago. Oh, a 2 count. David Vaughn just kicked out of there, and Espinosa gonna choke him on the mat. Brandon Espinosa frustrated. He thought he had him. He thought he had his 13th championship reign. Now he's choking him with a boot. Referee counting. That is Keith Smith Jr. is your official for this contest. MMWA has several titles: heavyweight, junior heavyweight, tag team, television title, and a battle royal title, which MMWA is going to keep all those belts. SICW is only going to have the classic title on their shows, and there Vaughn yanks down the arm. Brandon Espinosa across the top rope. Vaughn on the top rope. Spear off the top rope. I don't think he got all of what he wanted out of that. It looks like Vaughn hurt himself doing that maneuver. Vaughn is slow to cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Brandon Espinosa. If he saw that match with Jimmy Jacobs at the Epic 8 tournament, he should know how much it took by Jimmy Jacobs to try to put Brandon Espinosa away, only to come up just short. David Vaughn's TV title is in jeopardy at this point, and Vaughn trying to pump himself up and put Brandon Espinosa away. Measuring Brandon Espinosa, charges the corner, he's out of the way, and Esby takes down David Vaughn. It looks like Brandon Espinosa hurt his shoulder again, and that shoulder has been damaged. David Vaughn has been working on it throughout this contest. Because of that damage, David Vaughn has been able to get breathers after being hit with a big move, and there's a cover. 1, 2, and Brandon Espinosa could not make the cover in a timely fashion, allowing David Vaughn to regroup here. Events at the South Broadway Athletic Club occur once a month. Usually the second Saturday of each month down in St. Louis, Missouri. As Keith Smith lays in a count. He's got a 5 count, but if he doesn't break that maneuver, he's going to get himself disqualified. Esby off the ropes and sets on his back. David Vaughn down. And Esby goes to recover. 1, 2, and another 2 count. Brandon Espinosa cannot quite put David Vaughn away. Espinosa is going to have to hit a big move and go for immediate cover, but every time he's hit a big move, he's hurt himself doing it. And there's a suplex reversed by Vaughn. Immediate cover, 2 count. David Vaughn, the television champion. Gonna hook him up. Vaughn puts Espinosa on the top rope. Chop. Vince in this crowd, total attendance tonight is about 300 people. Here at the South Broadway Athletic Club, as Espinosa prevents David Vaughn from getting that superplex and headbutts him off the ropes. Repeated headbutts. Espinosa with a frog splash off the top. And once again, Brandon Espinosa can't go for an immediate cover, but now he got a cover. Oh, 2 count. He bounced off that frog splash. And that seems to be the difference from getting a 2 count versus getting a 3 count. Espinosa slowly getting to his feet as David Vaughn is back on his feet. Espinosa fires a punch, but only one. There's another one. David Vaughn trying to fire up. Oh, German suplex. And it looks like he's going to chain him. There's 2 of them. Espinosa. Oh, the 3rd one is blocked. Vaughn with his own German. Vaughn going to chain him. There's another one. Is he going to go for 3? Vaughn hits 3 of them. Bridge. 1, 2. Kick out at 2. Brandon Espinosa still hanging in there. David Vaughn back to his feet. Vaughn gonna try and put him away. Pick up. Shoulder breaker. On that left arm. No, it's actually, he got him on the right arm this time. 1, 2, and a hand on the bottom rope. David Vaughn actually dropped the shoulder breaker on the wrong shoulder. He did the right one. The right one's not damaged like the left one is. Espinosa able to get a hand on the top rope or the bottom rope to stop that count. Espinosa slowly on his feet. Vaughn going for a spear again. Puts on the brakes. Gets an elbow on Brandon Espinosa. Oh, arm wringer. Shoots him in the corner. Waist lock by Vaughn. He's got the referee. Low blow. Here, low blow. Next hand for a tight. Oh, no. Brandon Espinosa with a low blow behind the referee's back. Using one of his legs to kick him in the groin. Roll up and a handful of tights, and Brandon Espinosa steals the MMWA-SICW Television Championship. David Vaughn ripped off here. Oh no. Brandon Espinosa has won his 13th championship belt. 18 minutes, 30 seconds was all it took for Brandon Espinosa to add more championship gold around his waist. And there you see the belt. Well, next week on the NBS TV presents Pro Wrestling St. Louis. We're going to have more action from the South Broadway Athletic Club. Hopefully joined by a guest co-commentator. But until then, this is the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. Be sure to check out the St. Louis Wrestling community at stlwrestling.livejournal.com and the new Central Illinois Pro Wrestling.com. This promotion's website is MMWA-SICW.com. We will see you next week. Catch the Nosebleed Seats TV on demand anytime. Just go to stlwc.lip.tv, select your episode, watch and enjoy the show. The NBS TV on stlwc.lip.tv.